Alrighty, hello everyone, it's Silver Kyle here, and today I'm going to be going over my first impressions of Ni no Kuni, Wrath of the White Witch. Yes, that name is still giving me a freaking hard time. Wrath of the White Witch. There's just too many W's in there. Anyway, I'm enjoying this game so far. I wouldn't say that I'm enjoying it as much as I thought I would because this was my third most hyped game of the year. However, this is still a first impressions video, as in I'm only about 8 hours into this game, and it is an RPG, and RPGs are usually long. Just to give you an idea of how long this game might be, I'm currently in Chapter 2, and there's 7 chapters to this game. So I still have a lot more hours to invest into this game before I can fairly judge it and give it a proper review. Also, because I am in the introductory part of the game where I'm still learning all the basics, that's not the funnest part. The funnest part of most games is when you're in the middle and the end of the game, when you're an expert at the game mechanics, and that's when you usually have the most fun. But I'm at the introductory part and I'm still enjoying it, which is good. Just also to give you everyone an idea who do have the game, I'm at the second world and I just completed the 3 trials that you have to do, and I'm just starting to now be able to use more than one familiar. So what this game is about is that there's 2 worlds. One is the real world that's kind of like our world, and then there's an alternate world, which is where all this crazy RPG where the monsters are. And what's cool is that in the real world, if I'm in the real world, then there's another version of me in the alternate world that's my soulmate. Not like a love soulmate, but that person is essentially myself. And we are connected and we are linked because whatever I'm doing in the real world, my other self in the alternate world is doing something similar, something that is relatable to that. Not exactly necessarily the same thing, but there is some kind of similarity there. So one of the coolest things, in my opinion, about this game is that if there's a problem in the alternate world and you need to fix it and you can't fix it in the alternate world, if you have to go into the real world and fix it there. So I have to go to, like, if I want my, I don't know, this one guy to join my party in the alternate world, but he won't because of something, I can go into the real world, go to that person's soulmate, which is basically himself, in the real world, and fix his problem in his life or something like that there, and that'll allow him to join my party in the alternate world. So things like that, and I think that that's really cool, being able to go back and forth between these worlds. It's kind of like what Light World and Dark World, kind of, but not really. Like, there's more to a story of it, and sometimes you're going into the real world and you're just fixing, you're just trying to find where a character is, and then if you find out where the character is in the real world, then that'll be something similar in the alternate world. It's cool. The battle system in this game is not the hottest. The first few hours I was not enjoying it at all. I was like, oh god, I'm not digging it. But then as you progress, it gets a little bit better. So at the beginning you're playing as this boy and a fairy. His name is Drippy, and he is one of the positives of this game. He's hilarious. His accent is spot on, and he's just, he always has humorous things to say. So I love his character. But when you're a battle system, you don't battle with Drippy. Drippy is kind of in the background. He gives you hints every once in a while, and he throws you either like magic or health. And trust me, anytime that magic or health is on the field, pick it up, because this game is hard. I died within the first 2 hours of the game, and I've died a lot more since then. So this is quite a hard game. Not in the sense that you're like, oh, you're just so frustrated. It's just like, I did not expect to die there. And you just have to really, run around and use your... you have to strategize correctly, and at the beginning there's not a lot of strategy. You're just like, okay, you're battling, because it's a very basic battle system, but it gets a lot more intricate as the game goes on, because at the beginning you play as the boy and you're a wizard, so you have these different spells and you whack people with your wand, and you're not doing a lot of damage at the beginning. But then you start to use familiars. Now, familiars remind me of Pokemon, and a lot of people seem to see that similarity as well. Because they're kind of like these little monsters that you start off with, and you can switch them during battle, and only one at a time at the beginning. And what's cool though is that you can also battle yourself. So let's say you get into a battle, and you start off with your familiar battling, and then halfway through you want to switch it up to the wizard, to your main character, the wizard, because he's a wizard and you can do spells, right? And you can do frost damage or like fire damage, or you can heal yourself. So you go back and forth between yourself and the familiars, which you can't do in Pokemon because the trainers don't battle. And then later on in the game, you get another people to join your party. So there's this girl that just joined my party, and she has familiars as well. So now I can get into a battle, and I can battle as the boy and the girl, or I can switch it up with the boy and one of her familiars, or two familiars. The boy's familiar and the girl's familiar, and that is where it starts to get really interesting, because now there's a lot more things going on. You still control only one character or one familiar, but the other character will battle on their own, but you can also tell them what to do. Either defend, attack, heal, go for a specific, only the weak one. So there's a lot more strategy involved later on in the game, and I assume that as the game progresses, you get to use more familiars on the battlefield, and that's where I'm really starting to enjoy it. Now, another aspect of the game is obviously like the story mode, I guess. And you can have side quests. So sometimes you're going around, and not just in side quests, but the main quests as well. Sometimes there are people that are emotionally not right. There's something wrong about them. Either they're not motivated, or they don't have courage, and they're not brave. And what you can do is you can go to these other people in the world that have a lot more bravery, or they're a lot more motivated. They have so you go to them, and they have enthusiasm, much more enthusiasm. And you go to them and you ask them if you can borrow a bit of that power, and then you can use that power and give it to the person that needs it. That's kind of cool, and I've basically taken on every side quest in this game so far. I completed every side quest in the first world, and I'm almost done everything in the second world for the side quests. And I like doing them. They're enjoyable. They're kind of easy, and they give you more money. And money is a thing that you really have to be careful with, because you don't have a lot. You don't have thousands and thousands of dollars, and you're like, I don't know what to buy. Or you buy like the best armor. No, you have to mainly I'm just buying like health potions, not health potions, but bread, which gives you health, and coffee gives you magic. It's a cool world. What can I say? And it's very hard, and because I don't know, I don't think I'm grinding enough. That could be my problem. I'm only a level 12, and I just finished the trial section, so. I saw on IGN that they said preferably level 17 for this, and I was like, I'm 5 levels shorter than that, and I beat it. I don't know, maybe I'm just using correct strategies, but I do die once in a while, and I lose a lot of health. So apparently I'm figuring that I have to grind a little bit more in this game. What else can I talk about this game? The music is good. The main theme is phenomenal. And the art style, I guess that's what I'll end this video with, is the art style is just amazing in this game. It's cool because you go between cutscenes between like anime, like actual anime cartoon, and to real cutscene. And the game, you look kind of like an anime character, but as a CGI. Like, it's weird. It's hard to explain. And then the world that you live in is also different. It's very cartoony, but it's I don't know. It's like flawless. It's really hard to explain. It's like it's really shiny and it's polished, and it looks like it's for a game. I don't know. It's really hard to explain. You really have to experience it yourself to see what this game is like. So overall, at the beginning, if you do plan on picking this game up, give it more than the first few hours. Get to at least the 6 to 8 hour mark when you can use more than one familiar. That's where you'll either be able to judge if you really enjoy this game or not. If you're a fan of like Pokemon or like RPGs, old school RPGs, I would recommend this. Don't go in there thinking that this will be the greatest game. Some people are praising it as one of the greatest RPGs of all time. Granted, I think they're a lot further than I am, but it's possible. It's just, I think that it is a good RPG, and it is worth checking out. I'm enjoying the story. I'm enjoying being able to go from one world to the other, and the familiars are kind of cute. They're not as cool as Pokemon, but they're still enjoyable. So that's my first impressions for the game. I'll probably do either an actual review when I do beat the game, or talk about in my next gaming update. So thank you all for watching. You've been Bearded In. Bearded!